All right, so today we're working on loading the pre-connect trays for a Pierce. This load will also work for engine 2 since it's a double stack. Load we're stacking today is a modified Minuteman. I'll show you a couple differences when we get to the shoulder load, but I'm going to start here on my dead load on my supply. Female out first, and it's going to be stacking up on the right side of where you're deploying it from. So for the Pierce, we're going to make a 90 in that hose, just behind this handle, kind of in the back third. You'll know on your specific engine about how far to drop it and how much to leave out. I'm looking at probably 18 inches right here, and it's going to run up the outside wall. We want it on the outside so that when we pull this, especially the shoulder load, it's going to pull smoothly and it's not going to take both stacks with it. If you put it in the middle, it's going to have a tendency to pull both stacks. So keep it on the outside and kind of tucked out of the way with that 90 in the corner. All right. So we'll stack this up flat with dog ears at 2 and 5 on both sides. Those dog ears, one, will help us deploy this thing easily, one man, and it will also help you for that fire at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're pulling from the wrong side, you can see which is your supply and you can see which is your nozzle. So run those dog ears just to kind of help you identify things. But otherwise, we're going to stack this thing up flat. So run number 2, dog ear. For the Pierces, just big enough to get your hand on. The doors kind of get in the way if they're too long, and I don't want to have to roll them up out of the way, keep them tucked away where you have to untuck them to get to your dog ears. It seems kind of counterproductive to me. So just long enough to get your hands on, and we're stacking straight up. And I don't know if I said, but this is 200 foot, just like all of our other pre-connects. So that's my first 50. Get these lined up. Flat and tight. And going back up. Be a little quicker with a helper. All right, number 5, going to run another dog ear, and I'll do the same on the other end. All right, again, just big enough to grab. We don't want that getting in the way of your roll down door. Definitely don't want to have to fold it back out of the way, tuck it in, have to find it at 2 in the morning. This ought to pull pretty smooth, so you shouldn't need a lot to hang on to anyways. All right, that's my first 100. Keep that male stacked out of the way. So next we'll do the nozzle side. This will be your shoulder load. We've got our dead load on here on the right. Your nozzle's always going to be on your left. That'll prevent you from getting tripped up, tied up in your own line. So starting with the male, since this is a Minuteman, I'm running an 1 3/4 smooth with a 7/8 tip. If you've got a compact nozzle like this, you can do a traditional Minuteman where that is on the base of your stack. Most of us have a pistol grip or a fog. If that's the case, I would recommend a modified Minuteman. We're going to stretch that line out 18 inches to 2 feet, and it's going to give you a wrap just like this. It'll sit on top of your shoulder load. You just have to manage that nozzle when you take it out, but this arrangement will help that fog nozzle pull smoothly, especially if you have a pistol grip. So it's just something to keep in mind. Use what works for you, but this is what's going to work for us since most of our equipment has a fog nozzle. So on this far end, opposite of the nozzle, I'm going to put 1 dog ear, same length, on the very bottom. And we'll just stack straight up. Since we're doing a wrap, we will not have a dog ear or anything on the nozzle side. It's just going to be a flat stack straight up. All right, it's my first 50. Get that lined up. Again, tight and flat. And we'll keep going straight up. Nice thing about the trays is it's pretty easy to do with one person. So if you're short on manpower, you can get these loaded up in your spare time, have them ready to go, either on your engine or here back at the house. So when you come back, you can refresh the engine pretty quickly. All right, this will be the end of the 50. We'll make our connection on top. So again, this is a Minuteman. If you're not familiar, train on it. It's very handy for apartments, crowded street parking neighborhoods, anywhere where there's obstacles where you might have to avoid them going through the yard, that kind of thing, because it's going to flake off the top. Very handy for a dry stretch because all this hose is coming with you. So get that coupling tucked out of the way. Flip my nozzle. And we are good to go. So that's the 200-foot Minuteman modified with the flip. Pigtail for our Pierce engines. If you're on engine 2 on the Sutphen, you do not need to do that. You can just make your connection like you normally would. Flat stack this up and you'll be in business. All right, let me know if you have any questions.